continues to get production. He had a 3-assist game on September 5th and 2 more points on September 8th, so a 5-point week since we last talked for him.
He's already drawn 5 penalties so far this year, and he's only taken one. It's a really sneaky stat, and players that can draw penalties and not put us on the wrong end of things in short-term competitions, that's really invaluable.
There are a number of guys I know we need to see. There's guys that I know we know are going to be with us on the Olympic team. But
I like the idea of seeing a guy like him in November, not just because it's him, but because it gives us a pretty good gauge on junior age players and where they fit with our pros.
So I think he's a guy that has to slot into a position. How good do we think we are in the power play? Like he would be a guy, would be a power play guy.
I just think we all have to be careful of what we're hearing from other people and just stay on our course, because I've heard lots of things about guys, and then you go watch them play and you're like, well, you play pretty good right now.
Berkey, there's a lot of games in the DEL that are as good as the games in the KHL some nights, you know. Like it's not a it just doesn't sustain the tempo as long.
But he's playing 11 minutes a game. That coach has looked at his lineup and said, this guy is the 4th best centerman I have.
Because everyone's going to have top 6. Everybody.
We can go back and look at all of the tournaments we've won recently. It's our 3rd and 4th lines scoring that does it.
You got to be able to score.
We have to get some guys off the list as much as we get guys on the list.
You know, we're pretty well there. I mean, we've got a few decisions, and that's it. And I think we're going to like our team. But again, we just got to dig in on a couple of those, because once we get through this tournament, I don't think we want to have too many decisions after that. I mean, we're going to have some, but I'd like to really get a good handle on who our team's going to be here.
I don't know where we end up with that one last spot with 5 guys, but it's there, and we don't have to make that decision today.
Scott and Sean have done has been so important for us. You know, we've had conference calls. We're watching videotape on players because our office gets us, game footage from all the various leagues of what players we're looking at. So, you know, it's exciting to have all that information. Now at this tournament, it gives us a chance to see them live. And actually to coach them and get a feeling for their personality, their character, their dedication, their intensity. So all the intangibles that you don't see on video, now you get exposed to those things, and those often make the difference. So this is an important tournament.
Well, I think it's been really intense from the standpoint that we've spent a lot of time on the road. Not obviously just myself, our whole group. Scotty Salmon's seen games, Willie's been out seeing games. All our staff is really put a lot of work into identifying our players, and we've needed to do it that way. It's hard to just watch video. You have to get out live and see games, and I think we've got a pretty good handle on who the guys are now, but we've still got a lot of work to do, and that'll continue right on through, right to the Olympics.
I think Scott Salmon and Berkey have done a great job traveling and identifying players. I think it's a hard process. There's lots of players that are very similar. It's hard to compare the German league to the Swedish league to the KHL. Once you get with us and against that competition, it's equal, so then you can evaluate better.
I think we were hopeful that we'd be a little bit further along in the evaluation process, but with a number of new players now, we've got to narrow our focus. We've got to get through this event and really have an opportunity to narrow down our players so that we can shift our focus from evaluation to preparation, and I think that's what excites me, seeing these new players, but coming out of this, again, narrowing our focus and making sure that now we're looking to move ahead for the Channel 1 Cup.
For the 2018 hopefuls for our men's, women's, and para hockey teams, the first look at these jerseys helps to fuel them through the home stretch as they work to earn a spot on their respective teams. For those fans who are excited to cheer on Canada's athletes next February and March, the unveiling of the jersey represents an important visual identity that they can start to connect with in the lead up to the games and the announcement of Canada's final team rosters.
We have worked in partnership with Hockey Canada and the Canadian Olympic Committee to create a uniform that will help Team Canada break away from the rest.
This is a very, very special day for, of course, the athletes who will get the opportunity to don this jersey. No question about that, and I think that they'll be very, very proud to win that honor and privilege of wearing this jersey, whether it's women's, men's, or para hockey. I had my opportunity in 1994 in Lillehammer, but that gave me a first-hand opportunity to realize how important this whole experience is for all of us, whether you're a fan, whether you're an official, whether you're a coach, whether you're a participant. Opportunities like this really galvanize our country. The Olympic Games helped us kind of identify who and what we are as Canadians, and we can't lose sight of that. It's really very, very important. Enjoy the Winter Games, and go Canada, go. Thank you.
Willie's whole philosophy, and you'll see the first 20 minutes if you survive, that his whole idea is go, go, go. Play quick, play fast.
Scott approached me, and he knew I've had experience in player development and worked a lot with the Avs D, and he asked me if I would consider coming out and working with the Olympic D, and I thought that what a great opportunity for me to get better and experience and try to get back. Hockey Canada was good to me, and it's a good situation for me.
I know how tough it is. I know that the Olympics it's a difficult competition. There's little room for error. The importance of preparation is paramount. All those things, you realize it's really going to be stiff competition for us, so I'm not going in, with any false expectations. I know we're going to have a real hard time. I know we're going to have a good team. I know we have a good chance. We just got to get it all together. And as I said, little room for error.
There's some new faces here and there, but I think everyone's gelling together pretty well, and it's obviously a lot of fun to come with Canadian guys after, a lot of guys are in KHL, Switzerland, and all over the world, so it's really nice for us to come together here in Switzerland.
We got to set it up so the guys have a chance. They can't be thinking too much, but at the same time, we got to execute some system stuff. We got to get it in place. So it's a challenge for the players for sure, but I would expect us to come with a good effort, and I think then we'll wait and see what happens.
Ambassador in Bern, and I'm glad to see that Canadians come and rally around a great team.
What a great opportunity for our players who play in a number of different countries throughout the world who are coming here tonight to have just a little bit of a sense of Canada, to see some familiar logos either on hats or jerseys, and that just makes it a little bit more special for us.
This is something that most of these players never thought was going to be possible for them. There was a lot of talk, obviously, about the NHL, and when the NHL decided not to go, these players are getting an opportunity that is a dream for them. So we know that they're going to be a little nervous. It's quite a process for them, but when they put that jersey on, it's amazing to watch how proud they are of it. This team will be a lot of guys who end up on the Olympic team. So tonight's lineup, we'll probably have somewhere between 60-80% of the guys that play tonight will play in PyeongChang for us. We've got lots of experience. There's guys in this lineup who have over 500 NHL games. There's guys in this lineup who've been playing in Europe for 10 years who have been successful players. We have 3 or 4 first-round picks. Younger guys, we have a college player with us tonight that we haven't seen but has looked really good in practice. So be loud. Drink a lot of that Canadian wine before the game starts. And just want to thank you again for being here. It's a real honor for us. Thank you.
Everybody's been very busy kind of scattering the globe, making sure we've looked and seen all potential prospects. So to get together now as a group and kind of see the work come together is exciting for everybody. And I would be remiss to say that we're here to win too. I mean, so it's a little bit of both, but we want to come here and make a statement, send a message to everybody that you know, we're for real.
Okay, we can't get caught up on that. And last thing's the long changes period. You got to be smart in the line changes. Okay, D, one at a time. Because they'll look for the middle, so you got to stay narrow. Okay, forwards, hard in, hard out. Here we go. Come on.
You're trying to build a team, and so yes, there's a lot to do with skill and what they can do, but we also want to find out what they are as people. But as coaches, we want to learn how they learn. Are they video? Are they need one-on-one? So for me, it's a learning experience that's very valuable, not just for evaluating them on the ice, because ultimately that's where the game is played, and we're going to need to know if they can handle it. But we also need to know, going into a short competition like the Olympics, much more about the person, and this is where this is great. It's a very valuable tool, and it will really help us in short-term competition.
They scored, but we had a good response back. But now we're quicker to pucks. We're putting pucks in areas where we could get to it. And then when we got there, we were hard in the puck. Okay, their D, they don't really want part of that. Like, they're not getting in there first. We're getting to them. Okay, let's get in the red. Let's keep the pucks deep. Let's keep our feet going. Come on, let's get one on the PP right off the start. Here we go. Let's go, boys. Come on, boys. Let's finish this. Right here.
I've been on conference call. I've been talking about these players and looking at stats and analytics stuff. But now I'm gonna get to meet them. I'm gonna get to see them play and see their interaction with the coaching, with each other. So I think it'll be easier for me to have a better opinion on those players. And there's always time now. You know, we're in November. It doesn't start, you know, till February. So there's time for us to change our mind or look. But I think we have a pretty good idea of what we're gonna look like, and we're definitely excited about it.
I think with Ellie, it was a big goal, but it was even a bigger block, eh? Last minute play, that's a huge block for us. That gives us a chance.
We're on the way. Let's go. Good job. Come on, boys. Okay, let's make sure we're quick out here.
Playing with new players was kind of tough off the start, but I think as the game went on, we started getting our chances, and it went well.
I think going ahead, you know, we'll get better as the tournament goes on. We need some time together, but it was a good one to get the first one.
It was nice to get a win. You know, that's a good start. I mean, that's a good team. I've played them in the past, and they're a fast team. They're competitive, and they're dangerous. And,
You gotta have a good gap, because if it's a stretch pass to him, that's your guy. But if it's on this kind of a kick out, you're folding to the middle, our back checkers will get him. Another quick visual.
Practice is the same as it was the other day. Just got the Swiss form to start, just to get our feet moving a little bit. Okay, that's good.
Is this the first? I'll catch you down all the way over to practice. I think so. Okay. Remember this game.
think good competition against the Swiss, but that'll get elevated here tonight against the Swedes and then Finland on Sunday. So this is all part of a process of us preparing for the games in February, and I think we're stepping in the right direction.
This is what you can do against them all. Quick, you can see you got almost to both sides and the middle. Before they get in their structure, try to strike early. Shoot again.
This has to be our game.
Yeah.
Because teams are really good.
And they could be a little complacent getting into their structure. They just got to lope up.
I don't think we want to get too far ahead on thinking necessarily about results here. This is all about preparation. The event in Russia, I think, will be another step in that process before we go to the games in February.
Watch him walk right up, try to stuff him, get into the net. That's what we want.
These guys have been through the process. They've matured a great deal, and now it's on a different level. Now it's a coaching level in the sense of here's where we need you, and they're actually being interactive. They'll come to you and say, hey coach, video, or show me what and I was in the wrong spot here.
It belongs to the room. You guys have to make sure when we come out, we're coming out taking the game to them.
On the back end.
Get away.
Number 6, Mr. Moreau.
I think there's certainly a number of players here who will play in the Olympic Games. There's no question. There's some that the jury's out on still. I think the type of player is here that we want to have. Now we talked about this morning, we've got the pieces, now we just got to put the puzzle together. And so, I think we've taken a lot of time to figure out what the pieces are. And when we're done here, we've got to start to narrow that focus and get the puzzle put together.
From day one, we've taken that approach that we want to give every guy that has an opportunity the best chance to make this team. Ultimately, at the end of the day, they make the decision by the way they play. So, we've got our ideas, we have a good handle on a lot of the guys, but we still have to leave it up to them to do it on the ice, and that's what we'll see this week.
I thought it was a learning experience for us. Our key is we got to get better as we go along. I thought we had lots of guys that stepped up and played well. Like I thought there was guys we brought over, we didn't know how they'd play, and they played well.
Green.
Oh, I think we adapted. We have most of our guys play over here, so I don't think that's a factor for us. It's different when guys come out of Canada, but maybe we only had 2 or 3 guys that were on the big ice or the small ice surface in North America. So our guys know how to play on the big ice. Thank you. We can get these guys tonight. You know we can. We can't do it by ourselves. We got to have each other. Let's get them tonight. Here we go. Get down here. Let's go.
Just because you're on an Olympic team or an all-star team or you made it to this game or this stage doesn't mean you have to change your game and try to get a hat trick or try to do something out of your norm and out of what you bring. And most of it is, for me, is in the big games you have to keep it even more simple. And you just try to support the guys and just say, listen, you're ready for this. You've worked for this your whole life. It's a hockey game. Stay within the structure of your game, and good things will happen. It's like playing blackjack.
Let's make sure we want the same kind of start. Everybody jumping. Here we go.
At some point, we have to turn from evaluation to preparation. I mean, it has to be a fluid situation because so many things change at the last second. So, we're hopeful that the performances of the players will tell us who should be here in February, and they'll prove us right or wrong, and we'll be working from that, and after the tournament's over, to see where we need to put our attention, or where we need to add or support the core group of guys that we're taking from this tournament.
I don't think we'll change a lot. I think, you know, this is, we had quite a few players off our team. We got the bulk of our system stuff done. Now we'll just build on it. So I think we're certainly farther ahead now than we were at the start of the tournament. These are great games for us. There was lots of pressure. There was lots of action going on, high-tempo hockey. So we couldn't have asked for better games. Our end, you know, it's not if you win the games now, it's if you win them in the Olympics. So we know that. We know we have to get a little better.
There's some positives to look at, but you know, we also can't let ourselves off the hook, and we got to find a way to win games like that.
Obviously, I think we know we can do some things better. You know, that was evident tonight. As the game moved along, I think the one thing that we know we can count on, when you guys put that jersey on, you battle your asses off. And Scribbs made a couple great saves to keep us in there. We responded, we had a couple chances, and we could easily be sitting here with a win. But I think we know it wasn't good enough. We need to be better. So having said that, you know, as we move forward here, we got 2 more events. We've got the Channel one, and we've got the Spanker. We have to figure out a way to take both of these events and use it for building and also seeing guys, and we're still evaluating. But a lot of the guys in this room, we talked to yesterday. This is the bulk of our team. There's a lot of pressure on guys here. I know guys are feeling it. So we understand that. But that's also part of the evaluation. Because when we get to the Olympics, there's going to be pressure too.